Hello and welcome back to Social Adventures' new YouTube series. Today we are in the beautiful Kersal Dale forest and we are going to explore the woodlands on a woodland walk.
Hi, I'm Gary from Social Adventures. I'm a forest school and outdoor learning trainer. I'm also a survival instructor and bushcraft instructor. Today we're going to talk about woodland walks and the benefits of being outside and getting out into the wild areas around your neighbourhood.
So Gary's now going to take us to some of the nice locations within Kersal Dale that you can visit yourself when you're here.
As you walk through the woods, you will notice unusual features like this one behind me. All the trees are in a row, and that's a bit unnatural. And if you look into the background of a lot of these places, they have some colourful history. And this one was actually a really old path up to a big mansion, and this was actually the lands of the mansion. It's called Sycamore House. So when you do come across features like this, it is nice to maybe take a picture or maybe sketch or look at the features and do a little bit of research, and it's interesting what you can find out about places.
Let's talk about this myth. Are these edible?
They are. Yes, these are blackberries. So behind us is a we might call a bramble bush or a briar bush, but yes, it is a blackberry plant. They are edible.
Okay.
If you are in the woods, it's best to positively ID something. So if you've got any doubt, don't pick them. But if you can ID them, and you can buy ID sheets which you can see the fruit, and you can see the leaves and the stems, and you can positively ID them. That's fine. There's also books as well with more information on. You can also go online and check them up as well. Check you're picking the right thing. But yeah, these are blackberries. You can pick them, and they're nice and sweet. If you get any apples from maybe your local market or a shop, it's great for making blackberry and apple pie, or a blackberry and apple crumble.
Okay.
They're great.
Let's see. Yeah, sweet. Cool. They're good actually.
As you go for your walk around the woods, you'll find interesting features and you might see interesting trees. There's lots of variety of different trees. The one we've just stopped under here has these spiky little seed heads on. This is actually a sweet chestnut. It's the chestnuts that you get at Christmas time. There's not many around, but here in Kersal Dale there's a whole bunch of them here. They're really nice. These are just the young ones that have fallen off the tree, but it may be in a couple of months' time they'll get a little bit bigger, they'll split open, you'll be able to see the chestnuts inside.
So Gary, what animals might we see in Kersal Dale in this woodlands?
So this particular woodlands we might see squirrels. You'll see them along the floor or scampering up a tree. If you're lucky enough, you might see them in the canopy as well, scurrying along branches. You might be very lucky to see deer, because there is deer in these woods. They're very secretive, so they'll stay in the undergrowth, but you can look out for them, for little footprints in the mud if you're walking along a little path. and you see lots of footprints. You might see like the hoofed shape, so you can see where they've been. There's lots of foxes, and then there's lots of birds. So there's jays, there's buzzards, kestrels, owls that you might see. These are obviously animals that live in the woods, so any human presence they'll hide. So you got to be quiet if you wanted to see any nature, but there is plenty out there to have a look for. So in the wild areas around your community, maybe the woodlands, there's different ecosystems. So they're different systems where different animals and plants thrive together. So there might be meadows, grasslands, moorlands, ponds and woodlands. And they're all unique, and they'll have their own plants and different animals. So in the woodlands you might have deer, foxes, squirrels. Ponds you'll find tadpoles, frogs, newts, toads, fish. And then in the meadows, in the skies you might have some kestrels, and in the grass you might have some little mice and shrews and grasshoppers. So it's always interesting to have a look at the different areas, because there'll be different wildlife and different plants within them areas.
And now we have a special poem about the Woodland Walk by local poet J. Arnett.
Woodland Walk. A walk inside the woodlands, a stroll amongst the trees, the path towards the wetlands. We walked and felt the breeze, seizing every moment to speak amongst we friends, taking time not to miss the bliss we catch by lens. We captured all the greenery by eye and with our hearts. We listened as the river flowed and watched the midges dart. We stopped to see the scenery, but most of all, we came upon our walk for company. That's why we'll come again.
So we've done a bit of exploring. Now I'm interested in knowing, what is your favourite thing about the woodlands, the forest and being outdoors? Gary?
Well, from a background of dealing with bushcraft and survival, I love just being outside in the woods, being connected with nature and what it can teach us as well about surviving and learning from nature and being out in the woods.
Nice. What about you, Jay?
I think what I like is the fact that the forest is an aged place. It's an unchanged place for many years, and I find the sanctuary here. I feel connected to the place, with nature, and also as a poet, I find it very useful. It's almost the forest is a muse to me, my eternal muse. I can always come back to the forest and find something to write about, or I always take a picture and write about that. So yeah, the forest, as well as the sounds, the smells, and everything else, just the spirit of the forest. And yeah, sometimes I walk through the forest and I wonder who might have trod in exactly that same place 1,000 years ago, maybe 2,000 years ago. That's what the forest means to me.
Nice. I like that. Spirit of the forest. Good line. If you've enjoyed this video and it's inspired you to go and explore your local forest and your local woodland, then we want to see your pictures. Make sure to get shots of the activities, the trees, the nature that you find, and share them with us.